there are places in the Bible that actually speak specifically to young people like yourselves and tell you about walking on the path of God's blessing and what he says is the path that he will bless and what he says is the path he won't bless. And Solomon, the wisest man in the world in Ecclesiastes, gives you this advice, which I think is awesome. He says, "Be happy, young man, while you are young, and let your heart give you the joy in the days of your youth. Follow the ways of your heart, and whatever your eyes see, carte blanche, do whatever you want." But then there's that second part of the verse. "But know that for all these things, God will bring you into judgment." Do whatever you want, he says. That's what Solomon learned. We have the freedom. God tells you, you can do whatever you want. But just know, God's told us the path that he's going to bless. And if you don't walk on it, he will bring you into judgment. I think Paul in 2 Timothy 2:22 actually gives us, in my opinion, more usable advice. He says, "Flee the evil desires of youth and pursue these things. Pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord out of a pure heart." I think that's great advice. There's two key action words in there. Flee the evil desires of youth. Those are the fleeting pleasures that Moses chose to abandon. He had everything. He chose to abandon that. And pursue the things of God. Pursue the path that God blesses. I'm guessing tonight, well, I'm pretty sure, that you're going to be in one of three groups. And so to close, I want to address you directly. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be in one of these three groups. So when I get to the group that you're in, perk up your ears and listen to what action you need to take at this point. When we learn from the Word, hearing and knowing is not enough. God calls us to do something with that. Many of you here today are already on God's path of blessing. You've already made the commitment to love him, to serve him through repentance, faith, baptism. You're on that path that he blesses. And I just want to say, keep it up. That's awesome, and he wants to bless you. But guess what? You can't just hear, keep it up, get your pat on the back, and go home. He wants more. He didn't take Moses and stop right when Moses decided to follow him. He drew him. But it wasn't just that he wanted Moses to give more. He wanted to bless Moses more. He wanted to show him more of who he is. Seek that. Pursue it. Pursue that. That's an action word. You're moving. You're pursuing God. If you're already on his path of blessing, move. Keep going. Being on it is not enough. God expects more from you. Seek that out this week. Pursue him. Flee the desires of youth. Just because you're on that path, trust me, Satan still comes after you. You have to actively flee those things and pursue God. Some of you are in this second group. You're doing all the right things. You're doing all the things that a person on the path of God's blessing would be doing. But you haven't made the decision to step onto that path yet. Does that make sense? You're doing what someone on the path would do, but you haven't made the decision to walk that path through faith, repentance, and baptism. And if that's you, I really encourage you tonight and this week to seek out someone that you can talk to about it. Talk to your counselor, talk to your youth leader, talk to your pastor, talk to your parents when you get home.